This is our family, and this is our van life adventure. If you'd like to keep up with our adventure, please remember to like and subscribe. We're having all the fun at the moment. We have just arrived at our final campsite on the NC 500, just outside of Inverness, and we could smell something that was quite concerning. And we've done a bit of investigation, and one of our batteries had come loose and was leaking. So Perry is outside right now swapping it, because we do have a spare, so he's swapping it over. But some of the connections have actually melted because it was so hot. We're home in a couple of days, so even if we only have 2-3 days, we do have another battery that we actually run off, so it just might mean no TV for a couple of days, but I'm pretty sure we can live with that.
Let's turn that off.
As long as we're safe, because that potentially could have been quite unsafe quite quickly. So I'm really glad that Perry figured out what it was, because I thought it was a gas leak. So I'm really glad he realised that it was a battery and he got it out of there quite quickly. It's funny, van life, you have these massive highs and then you have these other moments which are a little stressful. We're still fairly new at this. We've only been doing it 3 months, so there is still stuff we're figuring out. Thankfully, Perry is very, very handy at most stuff. So I'm going to try and sort out some of our basics of just topping up water and things like that now that we're on a site. Hopefully it's all okay.
Oh, right. We just had a proper nightmare. Yesterday, after our drive, probably about an hour, we could smell gas, or what we thought was gas. So that night, shut everything off, shut the valve off, turn the fridge off. The van was filled with the smell of gas. Opened all the windows, obviously cooked on our camping stove so we could at least have dinner, but there was no hot showers. And obviously the gas smell went down. We checked all the tank, the pipes, couldn't find any leaks. So okay, fine. Smell had gone. Everything seemed okay. So obviously turn the fridge back on in the next morning when we woke up. All was well. So again, we did another hour's drive. This time the gas was again back. So thinking, it's what's coincidence? 2 drives, 2 smells of gas. So anyway, start investigating all around the van. Get to the battery compartment. Oh my god, the smell was coming from the battery. Now I understand the real eggy sulfuric smell. Obviously I mistook it for gas the first time around. We didn't check it, but anyway, I opened up the battery compartment for one of the laser batteries. Oh, the thing was boiling like a kettle. Overheating, and obviously closer inspection, the neutral terminal had come off one of the crimps. Obviously not done by us, it was obviously an existing one. And it was just a poor crimp, and obviously driving through the hills and mountains of Scotland, it worked its way loose, but it meant all the time we're driving, the battery was heating up and boiling to the point where it was almost hot to touch. So I panicked a bit. I didn't want it in the van. Could it explode? Could it catch fire? At that point I don't know, so I managed to disconnect the live terminal quickly. Obviously shut the engine off, shut all the battery switches off, whipped the battery out and pulled it at least 10 metres from the van. At that point, I didn't know if that was the right thing to do, but I just knew I had to get the battery out of the van. And then at that point the dust settled, and we'd obviously had an overheated battery, and that was the problem the day before. Lucky for us though, we had a spare battery, and I had some spare crimps, not quite the right ones, but we managed to do a temporary fix with a new battery until we could get to a place that actually sold the right right crimps and terminal lugs for the battery, because obviously everything was just warped and hot and was pretty much unusable really. So yeah, we were quite lucky. I don't know if the battery could have exploded or set fire to the van, but this was a very worrying experience for us. But you know, after the dust had settled, put the new battery in, we got the new lugs, all was well, minus one spare battery. But yeah, that was a big headache for us, you know, working our way around Scotland. Luckily, I have to add that we were, it happened when we got to a campsite, so you know, there were some facilities that we could help us. You know, there was no stress of the toilets and water. We had all the facilities there. It wasn't like we were stuck at the side of a road, so I guess that softened the blow a bit. It meant we were able to be somewhere safe, secure, to fix the problem. But yeah, that was a big problem that we solved. So happy days, I guess. Put that one down to learning experience.
Now that that crisis is averted, I can get on with some of the boring stuff in the van. Things often fall behind in the van and we're not the most organised, so whenever we're at sites I like to take some time to just send Perry away with the kids and I just try and get the van straight again. Once the boring jobs are done, we are heading to our last few stops. We finished our NC 500 tour yesterday, but as you can see we are still in beautiful and very sunny Scotland today. It's lovely and warm today, and we have a couple more stops to hit before we head home. And what trip to Scotland is complete without a trip to Loch Ness? So we are here today in the beautiful Loch Ness. Feels a bit weird because it's a lot busier than anywhere we've been in the last few weeks, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So this is where we're hanging out today. Time to get on and see if we can spot good old Nessie.
Has anyone spotted any splashes that looks like Nessie?
No, I've not spotted Nessie just yet. They weren't too disappointed they didn't see the infamous legend. We managed to distract them with a bit of rock skipping. Hey, look, this one might be a good one. I'll find you one as well. Slow down, slow down. No rush, we're no rush. It took a while, but eventually...
I skimmed! I saw that. I just skimmed that.
From one landmark to another. Now our legs may not have the energy to make the most of it, but it's worth the view. Ben Nevis.
This has got to be the noisiest park up we've ever had. Can't believe the sheep are in their field and barring. Who do they think they are?
The trouble with parking at the bottom of Ben Nevis. You're not level. Now I would love to tell you that we hiked all the way up to Ben Nevis and have some incredible photos of the view, but that was not happening with our boys, so we had to settle for just looking at a stunning mountain before we begin driving back down. This thing happens when you're driving in Scotland where, especially when you're driving a van like this, where you get a bit of a queue behind you, so you pull over to let the queue pass and then you get stuck at the back of your own traffic jam. And it's farewell Scotland. We're heading back to England.
How fast are they going?
They're going so fast and we haven't got any bread. I wish I had some. We are back in England, or more accurately in Southport, as we have a bit of a day out planned for tomorrow. It may not be Scotland, but it's still absolutely beautiful.
Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Goodbye.